Hello and welcome to Billy's Craft Room. In today's film, I'd like to show you around these Zig Brushables. They contain pigment ink, are acid-free, archival quality, light-fast, waterproof, fade-proof and non-bleeding. As their name suggests, they also feature a brush-shaped nib. They're twin-tipped. At one end you get a darker shade and at the other end a paler shade of the same colour. Essentially, two pens for the price of one. Now you've seen round the pens, let's start with some techniques. Where these pens really excel is for lettering. They're so flexible and the ink flows really nicely. The paper I'm working on here is Ryman's Bright White Card and it's 160 GSM. It works really well with these pens. Because the nibs are so flexible, you can also use them to make floral embellishments like this. The simplest way to do this is to turn the card as you go. Now you can have embellishments and your greeting in coordinating colours. As well as cardstock, these pens also work really well on stamp board. Stamp board is a wooden surface which has a clay layer on the top. I've watercoloured the background and the flowers I coloured directly onto the surface using the pens. For added sparkle, I've used the Wink of Stella pens, also by Zig. They contain a base colour and are shot through with glitter, which is a great way to add more impact. Next I'm going to show you how to watercolour with the brushable markers. I've stamped this image onto watercolour paper using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. You need to let that ink dry before you move on. I'm using an acrylic block on top of a piece of white cardstock as a palette. You will also need a jar of water and a paintbrush. Take your chosen colour and scribble onto the acrylic block. Start with a pale colour. You can always add colour to darken it later on, but you can't take it off if you go in too dark to start with. Take a damp brush and pick up some of the colour. It's a good idea to have a piece of scrap paper to hand to test the colour before you apply it to your project. When you're happy with the colour, go ahead and fill in your design. By starting with a lighter colour like this, you can gradually build up the shades until you have an effect that you like. Allow each layer to dry before applying the next. This is a good way to fill in large areas without getting any lines from the pens. When you finish painting an area, apply some clear water to the acrylic block and wipe off the ink using the paper towel. Don't forget, once the ink has dried, it will become waterproof. As you can see, you can get a really subtle effect by using the pens in this way. by building up the colour, you can get a really pretty effect. The next technique I'm going to show you is rubber stamping. Start off by applying a lighter shade of ink to your rubber stamp. Then go back in to selected areas and brush on a darker colour. This is a great way to create multicoloured stamping. These pens are ideal if you like travelling to classes, as you can take quite a good selection of colours with you without taking up too much room in your kit. You might need to breathe on the stamp before you stamp with it, just to refresh the ink. Hope you can see there. It's a really pretty result. It's really useful for floral design stamps as well. To avoid the ink staining your stamps, wipe them off with a damp cloth before the ink has time to dry, and they should come clean. For the final tutorial today, I'm going to be using the Stella pens, also available from Zig. Now you've done your beautiful lettering, these are a great way to add some extra impact. The Stella pens come with a base colour and they're shot through with glitter, so they're a great way to add highlights to your lettering. Just go around some areas of your letters, and from one angle you just see the colour until the light hits it, when the glitter really pops. It's such a fine nib on these pens, they're also great to doodle with. So I'm just going to finish off that flower I started earlier. And here's the finished result. Really enjoyed working with these pens, and I hope you give these techniques a try. They're lots of fun. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, do leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye. For more details of the pens used in this film, please visit the Kuretake website. For more inspiration, please visit the blog on www.billiescraftroom.co.uk.